So, last time we heard the story of Rabia, the master, the women master who lived in Himalayan state, and a guy reached there 1,000 miles away. In those days, it used to take months together to find an answer, who am I? So when we contemplate and reflect on that story, we realize that we are too far from ourselves. We are too far. We claim this is my life, this is my house, this is my honey, but normally at the mental level, we are too far from ourselves. Those who are too far from ourselves, nothing can be achieved. My master introduced me to another master in becoming when I was young. I'm still young, but don't go by the gray beard. So he was having 2 pairs of the cloth, and he was living near the Ganges river in a small cottage. And he has a big sign on the door. Do not come empty-handed. Now start thinking. People feel that, how greedy he is. So every day in the evening, he collected some of the coins people used to throw in front of the cottage. He used to collect it and threw into the Ganges river. Because he normally, in monasteries and ashrams in India, you get 3 meals free. You need not to worry about it. And you can build a cottage near the Ganges river, and ultimately you can continue your practices to reach to the ultimate. So I asked that why this? I don't want to meet non-seekers. That is why I have put the signboard. Those who do not want to give all the thoughts that makes them crazy, they are not the seekers. They want to hold on to those thoughts. Oh, it happened yesterday. I think Sam and we were talking, Sam and Stephen were talking. So this guy I'm coaching, he said, I want to be like you. Very good. Want to be like you. So I should not say anything. Why you want to be like me? You want to be like yourself. But anyhow, so he called me and he said, I'm becoming late. I read the message. I said, it's okay. Then 10 minutes passed. Then he called me. It happened, They both were listening. So, oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. From where this sorry comes? Can we shift our session? You have a ticket to go to New Jersey and you call the airport, hey, how are you doing? Kindly hold the plane. I want to fly tomorrow. We don't realize this. We don't realize this. So we think that we are very serious, but we don't realize it. The life is passing by. So whether it's a Buddha or any master, they say, do I have an urgency? No, I want to find my real self. The real journey begins. So the last week we have an equation. Happiness is equal to I am. That is realization. Thought that I am happiness, I am peace, I am love, I am... Can you just think of it? When you say I am happiness, can you react? You have to think. You have to contemplate. You have to absorb. You have to assimilate that knowledge. Think. I am peace. Is there any reason to react, to this guy? He said, no, I'm coming after 10 minutes after. Okay, very good. Oh, Girish, I have been totally held up, in doing some cable work in the television. You should have done it before. You should be ready. But why should I say this? That is your nature. That is your attitude. But when you become a seeker, then I will definitely say. So pay attention to this. Happiness is equal to I am happiness, I am peace. That is the journey of the self-discovery, my friends. Can you say every day in the morning, I am happiness? So now you look at your honey. You are ready to express your peace and happiness, come what may, in your profession. And when the happiness is equal to I am plus object, there is a false I. I am plus person, I am plus object, I am plus event. We are gone. With that introduction, now we are coming to what exactly is the real self. And we have been reflecting on that the real self is other than the three bodies. The real self is other than. We don't say that they are not required. We say the real self is other than the three bodies. We use them. The real self is other than the five sheath. The real self is other than the three states that we witness. And now we understand. So in one sentence in Sanskrit, it says, Sthula Sukshma Karana Shariradi Vyaktiriktaha Panchakoshatitaha San Avasthatrayi Sakshi. Now he gives the definition of real self. It is always good to filter out what I am not. We do it every day. We filter out all the houses we reach to our house. We filter out when our car is parked in the parking lot. We filter out all the cars. Oh, where is our car? Okay. Then you press and then you find your car. I hope you oh, where is my honey, So we don't do that. So here the master says, simple, he says it is SatChitAnanda. Real self is SatChitAnanda. English translation, absolute truth, if I say, absolute truth, consciousness, bliss. Don't take your mind when you hear bliss to any objective pleasure. It is permanent happiness. That's why I have changed that, So now understand the three words. Before we understand the three words, it is good to understand SatChitAnanda presents one real self. It is not three. How can you say that? How can you say that? Simple way that Stephen is here. It is his name. Stephen is a man. Stephen does his business. But ultimately, all are pointing to one Stephen. There are not three. That is what three words represents. So first word, take the first word, Sat. Sat means the truth, or it means existence. SatChitAnanda. Absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. So now the master is asking the question and answering the question. So what is this Sat? What is this existence? What is this truth? In this SatChitAnanda, in these three words. Sat is truth or existence. The Sat is, now see another definition, another understanding. This word Sat is beyond three periods of time, past, present, and tomorrow. The self is the beyond three periods of time and is changeless. It has no future, no past. Whatever happens, it happens here and now. Whatever happens, it happens here and now. Time is created by the mind. Time is created by the mind, and we are not the mind. That is what the truth is. Think of this. Contemplate and reflect. That I am is always present with the change of form, weight, height of these three bodies and the five sheets. That I am is always there. 5 years old, I said I am. 10 years old, I said I am. Now I still say I am. So that I am bypasses the time. So that is why the master used these three phrases. 3 words, not 3 phrases. SatChitAnanda, existence. Self is unchanging identity that dwells within and beyond the 3 bodies, 5 sheets, and 3 states. So when you bring them all together, what is the indirect definition and the direct definition, then we understand that in time, the 3 bodies and the 5 sheets exist. But I am beyond time. Self never changes. What is non-self is constantly changing. Self is timeless. It's a simultaneous awareness of timelessness in time. The moment the mind is looking outside, I see I have to start the session at 8. But inside I have that awareness which lives in timelessness. That is the first way to define that real self. So because we experience that state of timelessness in science, let me rephrase it. We experience the timelessness in silence. That is why we say empty the mind completely in order to experience that self. It is a simultaneous awareness of timelessness in time. Now look at, we will expand it further. Now the second word is, what is chit? So that chit is, it is a thoughtless awareness that I am. Have you ever reflected on it? You don't think anything, no thought at all. Do you have that awareness that I am? I exist? You need not to think, but still you know that you are. You are. We are. So one is that existence, and the other is conscious. I'm conscious of that. I am, and I know that I am. Did you get it? I know. I am existence. And now I know, because of the consciousness, that I am is the chit, is the second word. You can compare it, I think, therefore I am. Or, I am, therefore I think. I am, therefore I am aware. I am, therefore I think I exist. And this awareness is always present in us. Always. All the time. 24/7. So it bypasses the time. Light goes off and there is a total darkness. You cannot make out whether other persons are present or not, but there is no doubt you are present in that darkness. You know I am. I am present. I am present. This I am is consciousness, and this I am is existence at the same time. I give an example to the statement. The self is the knowledge and consciousness together. Why it is a knowledge and consciousness? We have to argue, we have to ask the question at every point. Why the self is knowledge and consciousness together? Very consciousness is the knowledge. And the very consciousness is the existence. So that is why the master uses the two words, Sat and Chit. Sat means truth, or you can say existence, plus I am aware of that existence, which is truth. So existence and consciousness is the self. No worries if you do not understand. I'm going to expand it further. It is better than gossiping. We enjoy gossiping. So self is equal to existence plus consciousness. Now comes the third word, that is known as bliss. Bliss means a continued state of happiness. It is the very nature of the real self. It is of the nature of continued happiness. You are angry outside, but the continued state of the happiness is present inside. You are frustrated, but the happiness is still present inside. So why I can't see it? Because I don't know it. Why I don't know it? Because I'm ignorant of my real nature. Another reason why I'm ignorant of the real nature, because I find happiness is outside. So now say, pay attention. I am. I know I am. I know I am happiness. When? Here and now. I am existence. I know I am consciousness. I know I am peace and happiness. Let me rephrase it. I am, and therefore I exist. I know that I am, and I am blissfully aware that I am. But there is one problem. The moment our mind starts thinking, I want to bring this real self in front of me to realize that, not possible. That is what the science is. Science always wants to bring any object that it wants to know in front of itself. Now think for a while. So non-seeker cannot understand this, but the seeker understands. What do you mean? I want to bring the real self in front of me. What did I say? Did you understand? I want to bring the real self in front of me. There are two eyes. So which one is the real? The real self in front of me or the real self here? Who is pointing here is the real self. So who created this duality? Mind. Why it created the duality? Mind has created the duality because of ignorance. What is the goal of the entire Eastern wisdom? To remove the ignorance. Do you see that? So that is why we have to learn. I will go deeper in the following sessions and we will explore. Take an example of a rose flower. Rose is a fragrant to smell, red in color, and soft to feel. The three aspects of the real self is like that. The three aspects of smell, color, and the touch are meant to describe the same rose. So whether you say it is only, you can say when we say it is existence, it means all the three. Whether you say it is pure consciousness, it means all the three. Whether we say it is a permanent happiness, it means that we are indicating, pointing to the same real self. Think of this. Contemplate and reflect. Another point our masters says that real self is self-aware. Mind is not self-aware. In deep sleep, you already know it. Mind is not self-aware. It borrows the consciousness from the mind it borrows the consciousness from the real self, then it says it is the waking state. Then it realizes it's a dream state. But in sleep state, nothing happens. So now go opposite to that. The real self is self-luminous, self-effulgent. If I translate into English, it is self-effulgent. What do you mean by self-effulgent? That very real self knows the real self by the real self. Mind is not required. The moment the mind wants to know, it divides into three. Make it very simple. I know Terry. So this Terry word or the person is reflected in the mind. When I say I know, this I is also reflected in the mind. And the knowledge of Terry is also reflected in the mind. Divides into three. mind divides into three in knowing anything of the world. And in that division, we cannot know the real self. That is why we have to transcend the mind. That is why we have to empty the mind. That is why we have to, we can use different words. We can enter into the state of silence. That is why we have to move the mind within. We all are awakened now. It takes time. Knowledge is realized in stages. You have heard from me many a times. Knowledge is realized in stages. Step by step, we remove the ignorance. And please check, are you changing your behavior and attitude every day? Why? Because that mind will calm down. That mind will not run after the things and objects which causes stress, dualities, conflict, and anxiety. You should find the change in your behavior, in your attitude, in your personality. It should happen from the day one. And you should be able to increase your level of self-awareness even 1% in every session. It will become 100%. It is not only one session is enough. So what is going to happen then? You start thinking, speaking, and acting with reference to the real self all the time. There are other conversations. I forgot, I recalled a couple of things yesterday with this guy. I want to be like you. I said, okay. And then, Girish, it has been 10 minutes, I promised you. And then he said, the cable guy is there. I said, no problem. No problem. So I also told him that we are completing the book that gives you the entire journey of the Eastern wisdom, and you can be like me. But one condition. I think that is what we talked, I remember now. So what is the condition? The book will cost $25, but I will charge you $50. Because that gives you all the secrets. I know I'm going to give him send him the book, especially to my all students. No, I cannot afford it. So you can afford to change the session 3 times. Pick up the mind. That mind must have a right value. It is totally committed and sincere to find my real self. So that was a pointer. I gave just a pointer. It has nothing to do with the money or the book or anything else. But when you move in that linear fashion, pushed by the mind, discovery of the real self is too far. I pointed out. Think of it. Close your eyes. Let us start our journey. Eyes are closed, my friends, and the body is steady. How far your body becomes steady? That is the meaning of increasing 1% of awareness every day. You see, and that is your personal experience. even though I may judge it, but that has nothing to do with any progress. It has you. Eyes are closed, body is steady, mind is facing within. It gives you the message which is very deep. What it means, the body becomes comfortable. Your mind is not holding the body with any pressure or stretching, whatever. So I'm just giving you a feel of what we discussed. So who feels it? Real self, through consciousness, passing through the mind. Because real self is consciousness. And at the same time, why you should feel comfortable. So there comes a knowledge that I am not the body. Why should I hold on to it? See, this is what happens at a higher stages. But if this is not happening, and what you will say after returning from the body is, making me crazy. No, that is not the reason. When I have that awareness that I am not the body, I leave the body as it is comfort. Now put the second point, mind is facing within. I think you understand what we discussed last time. What it means by being within. So some people start looking at the bones and the bloods. Other people ask, I have a lot of crazy thoughts in my mind. So your mind is outside. It is not looking inside. What do you say? So I'm talking with reference to increase your awareness 1% every day. It's only 100 days journey. And eyes are closed. We know eyes are closed because the real self cannot be found by any of the sense organs. You have that awareness. Vidya dadati vinayam. I gave you knowledge, humility, inner qualification, inner wealth. What is that inner wealth of calmness? Inner wealth of stillness, inner wealth of withdrawal of the sense organ from the objects, inner wealth of the faith and the trust in yourself that there is a real self. What is that consciousness? Existence, consciousness, bliss. Then what happens? So if I translate in a modern language, Master says, you start changing your behavior, attitude towards the world. And then real self. There is a word used, tjhe. It is the highest school of Buddhism. It says tjhe or Zen. You might have heard the Zen meditation. What it means, if I define it, just sitting. Just being, if I used. So in that state of the being, I am conscious, I exist. Mind is not making me crazy, so I feel there is a state of joy. Continue. Just sitting, just being. What is that just being? It is the real self. You are already there. So all these schools of thought evolved in India, so it's nothing to think that they have the different approaches. So we follow still the approaches. We do not want the mind to let me down. And the easy process, looking inside the cave of the heart, start saying mentally Shantoham. And then have a pause, Shantoham. Then there is a pause, Shantoham. Another layer of awareness is the body is steady. Okay, third layer that you start breathing, quick, short, gentle breathing from the rib cage. You are aware of the movement of the rib cage. You are aware of Shantoham with a pause. You are aware of the body is steady. One awareness, like the sun, divides into many rays. Start. Just enjoy that breathing. Continue, journey continues. So that journey continues without any resistance from the mind. Any resistance is the impurity of the mind. Oh, so when you reach to that level of awareness, you can easily drop any resistance of the mind and you continue. Continue. Find the flow. Find no resistance. And stop this and start the nyasa. Deep, silent and slow breath. One aspect. Moving the mind with the breath inside the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. Good. And then dropping, singing Shantoham. You will find a qualitative change in your experience doing the nyasa. Qualitative change? Yes, it's just a flow. You are looking inside the right arm in the space, and it's a very casual. You are living in a higher awareness. There is no obstruction. There is no resistance. And Om Shanti, saying mentally, absorbs your mind, and you may feel a kind of an objectless state. Behind all the pointed awareness, breathing in and out, moving the mind in the space, awareness of the right arm. It is all happening in the time. But behind all that, you may have a glimpse of the state of timelessness. So there are many words used: objectlessness, timelessness, transcending. Breath awareness, which is deep, silent, and slow. Breath in the mind moves in the space inside. Body remain almost steady, comfortable. And the intellect is singing Om Shanti or Shantoham, whatever. Or you may say in English, I am peace, so that doesn't make any difference. The mind gives an element of surprise. And now inside the left arm, you change the location. When you change the location, it means the time and the space. It is a creation of the mind. Mind first limits itself. It recognizes an object. Then it says, now yes, location. Change of location means time and the space and the world outside. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Check your kind of an absorption within, even if you're listening to me. I'm just pointing you the simultaneously aware of what is happening outside in time and the space, but also timelessness inside. Now inside the right leg, here the mind is not at all concerned how longer you do it. In that field of awareness, you find how I should move continuously. Everything is happening in the time, but behind it there is a presence who knows everything is happening in the time. Now inside the left leg, when we say inside the left leg, right arm, left leg, or the spine, we want to be sure that the mind is naturally focused, lives in a higher awareness. That is why we are doing it with, these 3-4 major parts of the body. Otherwise, even one is enough. Om Shanti. And I'm here with you now inside the spine, from the crown of the head to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Many masters worked with these steps, especially inside the spine. And they realized that there is another way to work with the energy. What is this energy? Is a prana. What is this prana? Is a consciousness force. What is this consciousness force? Is renamed by these masters as Kundalini. And now do nothing. Staying within you and becoming aware. I am, therefore I exist. So who says I exist? Consciousness. And then live into that silence. I am. I know that I am is consciousness. And I'm blissfully aware that I am. Any thought comes, replace with this, because thought contains the knowledge. Knowledge takes place in the heightened state of awareness. When we say that equation, I am is equal to happiness or I am happiness, it contains all the three. Because if I say I am happiness, I exist. I am conscious. I am consciousness. And I am happiness. You see how carefully our masters put that state of happiness in the end. Existence, consciousness, and bliss. So I'm just helping you to reflect the tjhe, the zen. Just being. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. We will share our experiences to understand it better. So, how are you, Barbara?
I'm very well, thank you. It was a really wonderful experience. I felt completely calm, and I felt very much separated from my body.
Good.
And I really wanted to stay there. It was beautiful.
Beautiful. That is wonderful. So if anyone wants to stay there, the mind is totally absorbed. How are you, David and Jerry? And now I can see you returned here?
No.
No? Oh, yes. Yes.
It was a very, very good experience. For me, it was the fast breathing through to the Nyasa. I saw a lot of blue. And then right towards the end of the Nyasa, all of a sudden, it was just like a snap of the fingers, and it was like a whiteout in a snowstorm. And it was just bliss. It was very relaxing.
Very relaxing, blissful. That is wonderful. You see, that is how we have to move deeper. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. It was just really continuous, smooth, just wonderful, effortless. And the lesson, I mean, I feel like that during the day when I'm reflecting and contemplating and using this, that we're always there. You know, we know we can always be there and stay there, and kind of like the turtle retreats his head into the, you know, we can always be there.
That is the most important point. We should continue to contemplate and reflect inside our head through the intellect to not only drop the past impressions, but continue to live in a higher awareness. That is very important. How are you, Stephen?
Good. Thank you very much for that. The meditation was, it was just pure effortlessness. It was at the very end when I came out of it, when I was always, when I come out of it, try to think, what did I get from this meditation? What did I experience from this meditation? And the term of just pure silence came to mind. And I had this realization that I wasn't, observing silence. It wasn't that the meditation was silence. It was, I was part of the silence. It was just me and nothing. And it was just a great feeling.
Beautiful, yes. I normally say an easy way to understand it. So we are comfortable, and then there is a sense of relaxation, then there is a stillness. You see, every word is a higher state of awareness. So what I said, being comfortable, and then you are carefree, then relaxation, then stillness, then calmness, then quietness, then peace, and then silence. In the silence, the awakening takes place. Just when you think like this, oh, this is what is happening. So I'll explain it. Beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
I'm fine, thank you. My practice was really deep and relaxing, and I felt like there was an element of healing, maybe like in the first few sheets that came from someplace quieter, right? It just kind of sensed that and felt that, but it was still like quiet and steady. It wasn't very active.
Yes, I will talk in detail one day about this healing. Can I say healing business? Yes. So what is heal and healing? We will understand based on their teaching. But even when we get a feeling in the mind that it's a healing, so it means we are working on the mind. And that is a great thing. So we will go to Sam now. Now I'm going like this, in a circle, yes.
For me, it was a little bit darker and heavier today. But very refreshing and light now that I'm back, now that I've returned.
Yes, now see that it seems contradictory, but it is not contradictory. He said, I feel like heavy. So this heaviness has to do with the 5 sheet. And then the mind jumps into the higher consciousness, refreshing and calming. How are you, Terry? If you can open, yeah, you are already open, yes.
I felt I did not lose my awareness of unpleasant sensation, but I simultaneously felt a peace. I felt the peace throughout at the same time.
That's so beautiful.
As I was having thoughts, but also they were within the overall feeling of peace. I did have a worry and a peace at the same time.
Yes.
They want me to have a surgery, a DBS,
And I couldn't stop thinking if it was a good idea or bad, if I should do it. But I wondered about the brain. It's a brain surgery. But I still felt a peace. But my slow breathing is not silent, but it was more peaceful than before the lesson.
Beautiful.
I felt I benefited from the lesson. It helped me feel better.
Feel better. You didn't move your body at all during the practice, and I could see. It's a very beautiful way to see the simultaneous awareness of the worry or the stress or the thoughts. Where they belong to? They belong to 5 sheath in the 3 body.
Yeah.
And the peace belongs to me. I am the peace. I don't know too much about the surgery, but we have already started doing a meditation surgery. We are separating peace from that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How are you, Rakesh?
Thank you, sir. Today, when the breathing was happening, the first part, the breathing was happening, the shantoham was happening, the steadiness of the body was happening. I was just watching, I was doing nothing. It was happening on its own, totally effortless.
Good.
And in those moments, suddenly, it's very strong waves happens on the body, the waves of happiness. Very strong waves, I felt. Then we moved to the second part of Nyasa. In the Nyasa part, I felt that with the breathing, I was breathing out. The Mool Bandha was also happening at the same time. And it continued throughout the Mool Bandha. And also, during this Nyasa, I had no feeling or thought of any time, how long it will continue or how long, because I was with my breath, or I was with my thing. So in those moments, there was no here or there. So I didn't realize how long it is going to happen, and how much time it will take. That is how it went on. And when we reached to the last part of I am, and in those moments, just I am. There was just I am, nothing else.
Yes.
And the Moon one was still continuing.
Yeah. That is how Mool Bandha is basically a practice from the Hatha Yoga and the Kundalini Yoga. So when you are doing the Nyasa with the deep, silent, slow breathing, so what happens? Mool Bandha means that the contraction and expansion of your muscles of the anus, and also you can include the genitals. So that is how our masters separated the different schools of the thought when it started for the first time. They more focused on the energy part of it, and then they realized that by inventing these different practices belongs to the Kundalini Yoga, and this belongs to the journey of the higher yoga. So that is wonderful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Sir, it was peaceful, totally calm.
Totally calm, peaceful. That is wonderful. How are you, Lalit? Oh, we have left one. Anesthesia, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, it went very well for me. As I came unprepared for the session, so still in time also will hopefully I'll be better for the second session.
Yeah, come out, express yourself. It is better to express than not expressing. Wonderful. How are you, Anastasia?
Thank you very much. I'm good. It was deep and natural, and also I was absorbed.
Absorbed. So you see the most important point that we discussed, there should be a simultaneous awareness. So it is the one awareness, it is the one consciousness which goes through the mind and recognizes what is happening in the three bodies and the five sheets. But the same consciousness is the real self. Oh, that is the real self. So that is how our masters, first they witnessed, they separated, and then they discovered and created hundreds and thousands of practices. But why I said so? The main thing of saying so that, normally you have in coaching business, coaching and mentoring business. So what the coach and the mentor does, they hide a lot of things. This is my secret. But in Eastern wisdom, if I keep any secret, then I'm not following the tradition. But then why I said so? The knowledge and the practices, as you continue to do it, you become a self-coach. You are a coach and a mentor to yourself. And when that happens, everything around you changes. Your personal life, your professional life, your social life. So, Anastasia, you're ready to coach Oleg? He said, they both are wonderful. That is all. Thank you for meeting.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.